Hello everyone, and welcome inside the Ursprung Gymnasium at the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. My name is Matt Florjancic, and I'm here for the webcast of today's BW women's volleyball match against the visiting Marietta College Pioneers. The Yellow Jackets come in with a 9-6 overall record. This is their first match in the Ohio Athletic Conference. They are only 1-0 at home this year. This is just the second time the Yellow Jackets will take the home floor, and that victory was a 3-1 win over Hiram College nearly 1 month ago on September 7th. The Marietta Pioneers come in with a 12-4 record. They are 0-1 in conference play. They are 2-1 away from the Ban Johnson Arena in Marietta. Marietta comes in on the heels of a 3-match winning streak. They have not dropped a set in over a week as they swept Westminster and Grove City on the 24th and then swept Ohio Wesleyan on the road just a couple of days ago. The Yellow Jackets, on the other hand, they've been on the wrong end of the scoreboard in 3 of their last 4, and they are trying to get back to their winning ways after going 1-3 at the North Park tournament, 1-2 at the North Park tournament last weekend. Taking a look at the starting lineups, first for Marietta. Number 5, sophomore outside hitter from Barberton, Mia Silva. At right side hitter, a 6-foot sophomore from Bay Village and St. Joe's Academy, number 6, Ella Boyer. At outside hitter and defensive specialist, a 5'7" freshman from Roscoe, Illinois, number 7, Kira Shannon. The setter is 5'6" sophomore from Lebanon, Ohio, number 11, Emery Spittler. Also in the starting lineup, a 5'9" freshman from Alliance and Marlington High School, number 14, Jillian Fellers. At middleback, a 5'9" junior from Alliance and Marlington High School, number 15, Maggie Fellers. And at middleback, a 5'11" senior from Mansfield, Madison Comprehensive, number 16, Becca Phelps. The Pioneers are led by Christy Newman, who is in her 5th season with the Pioneers. Starting it off for the Yellow Jackets, sophomore defensive specialist from Avon and St. Joe's Academy, number 1, Lauren Gardner. At right side hitter, a 5'11" junior from Hilliard Darby High School, number 3, Nicole Logan. Junior setter from Hilliard Darby High School, number 7, Olivia Zawadzki. At middle hitter, a 5'11" freshman from Temecula, California, number 13, Malia Thurber. At middle hitter, a 5'11" senior from Willoughby South High School, Isa Luciano. At outside hitter, a 5'8" sophomore from Aurora, Illinois, number 21, Sam Rueda. And at outside hitter, a 5'11" freshman from Naperville, Illinois, number 22, Gabby Schlecht. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets are coached by Christina Foltz, who is in her 1st season. She is assisted by Anthony Winter and T.R. Harker and the student assistant Carson Owens. The Yellow Jackets will be in their brown uniforms with white and gold stripes just below the shoulders, white numerals and lettering with gold trim around both. The Pioneers will be in gray uniforms with blue numerals and lettering and a white trim around the numerals and lettering with the Pioneer logo on the nameplate on the back of the jersey. Marietta will start the match on serve. And it'll be Emery Spittler who will do the honors to get this game underway. Get this match underway, rather. It's played by the Yellow Jackets. Tip over the net is handled by the Pioneers. Set up for an outside hit. It's dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Now they're going to try to get an outside hit. It's blocked at the net. They'll regroup. Outside hit is played by Marietta. And on a miss hit from Ella Boyer, the Yellow Jackets will get the first point of the match. And going on serve is Sam Rueda, the freshman outside hitter. She gives the ball a spin, puts the right hand into it, and it is out of bounds. Just a little bit wide. So we are even at one each. Marietta let it go, and they played it well. Jillian Fellers with the serve, but it goes into the net. Point Baldwin Wallace, and Lauren Gardner will rotate in for the serve. She chops down on the ball 3 times, dribbles it 5 times, heads towards the line, and fires it over with the right hand. It's played by the Pioneers. Middle hit from number 15, Maggie Fellers, is down for a point, and we are even at 2. Kira Shannon will take the serve for Marietta now. She puts it deep into the back line of the Yellow Jackets, and they are unable to control it. After the first hit, it goes out of bounds. That's a point for the Pioneers, and they have their first lead of the match at 3-2. Shannon's serve is handled a little bit better this time. Outside hit for the Yellow Jackets. Coming up with the big swing and the point is Gabby Schlecht. Paige Contras will check into the match for the Yellow Jackets. Nicole Logan will check out, and Contras will go on serve. The right-handed serve is played by the back line. Set up for the setter. Tip at the line, and it finds the ground. That's a point for the Pioneers. Well played right there by Maggie Fellers. The Yellow Jackets lined up for a block, and she had the light touch over the block for the point. Brea Elsey on serve for the Pioneers. It's played by Gardner. Tip at the net. It's Olivia Zawadzki putting it down for the Yellow Jacket point. That evens things up at 4 each, and Gabby Schlecht will take the serve for the Yellow Jackets. She puts it over with the right hand. It's played low to the ground by the Pioneers. It'll be a free ball. Gardner sends it up to Zawadzki. Tip at the net is handled by the Pioneers. Outside hit attempt from Silva is played by the Yellow Jackets. So putting it deep and just out of bounds, it's Sam Rueda with the hit. Maggie Fellers with the jump serve for the Pioneers, and it is mishandled by the Yellow Jackets. They just got one hit on it before it falls to the court. That's a point for the Pioneers. They enjoy a 6-4 edge here in the first set. Maggie Fellers' serve is played by the Yellow Jackets, and back row hit from Schlecht gets it over. Big swing that's dug out by Lauren Gardner with the one-handed hit. Rueda plays it to the back row. Marietta handles it. Gardner receives another hit. Set up to Zawadzki. Block at the net of Rueda's hit. Now a tip by the Yellow Jackets is played by the Pioneers. Back row hit from Fellers. Handled again by the Yellow Jackets. Rueda with the hit. And that's a point for the Pioneers as the official says it hit the stick on the netting. Goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Maggie Fellers' serve played again by the Yellow Jackets up to Zawadzki. Put down, but just out of bounds. It's Isa Luciano. And with that, the Yellow Jackets are going to burn a timeout. They trail 8-4 here in the first set while we have this break in the action. Want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection, LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Marietta will stay on serve after the Yellow Jackets burn their first of two potential timeouts here in set number one. Maggie Fellers will deliver to serve, and she will hit it long. It goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Thurber checks back into the game and seeing her first action today. 5'7" freshman setter, number 6, Katrina Blazentik. Blazentik puts it to the back row. The Pioneers handle it. Outside hit from Jillian Fellers is played by the Yellow Jackets. Rueda tracks it down well out of bounds. Now it's a free ball over the net. Another hit from Jillian Fellers is hit out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. That'll be a point for the Pioneers. They lead it 9-5 here in set number one. Meg Marshall, a 5'7" freshman from Harrison Township, Michigan, will check in for the serve for the Pioneers. She puts it to the back row. It's handled up to Zawadzki, now to Rueda. Her tip is blocked. Zawadzki will set it up for a back row attack that goes right down, right back to the Yellow Jackets, and now it'll be finished at the net. Malia Thurber with the kill. Serve from Zawadzki is misplayed by the back row. That's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki goes back on serve, and again, Marietta has a lot of trouble with the serve, and the Yellow Jackets will take advantage of the miscue as Nicole Logan will put it down for the kill. Whatever Zawadzki is doing, it is working for this Yellow Jacket team to confuse the Pioneers. They'll play on the back row again, set for an outside hit. It's Fellers, Jillian Fellers with the hit and the point for the Pioneers. Marietta goes back on serve. This will be Emery Spittler. It's played by the Yellow Jackets. They'll send it back over the net. Left-handed hit from Boyer is handled by the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki set up Rueda, who hit it right into the net. It's a point for the Pioneers. They lead 11-8 here in set number one. Spittler's serve played by Rueda. Up to Zawadzki, back to Rueda. She puts a right-handed hit into the back row. It's handled by the Pioneers, and a kill at the net as Zawadzki couldn't handle that one. She was going left. The ball went right. And that spelled all sorts of trouble for the Yellow Jackets. They will burn their second time out of the first set. They trail 12-8. And again, while we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. 12-8, the Marietta Pioneers lead in set number one. Spittler's serve played by the Yellow Jackets. Marietta plays the free ball over, and she gets a point for the Yellow Jackets as Marietta was caught out of position. Shannon tried to make a diving attempt at the ball, but was unable to get a swing on it before it hit the court. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Fortunate bounce for the Yellow Jackets. Marietta back on serve. She sends it to the back row. It's played to Jillian Fellers, who will hit it out of bounds. That's a point for the Yellow Jackets. So out of this timeout, BW plays it just how you'd want them to, getting the first 2 points. Now Marietta puts it right on the line. It's played by the Pioneers. Free ball handled by Rueda up to Zawadzki. Outside hit for the point is Gabby Schlecht. She put it down with some authority, and Marietta hit it out of bounds. It's a timeout for the Marietta Pioneers, who watch their 4-point advantage dwindle down to 1. BW trails 12-11 here in set number 1. Marietta, just a quick word in that timeout. They had 1 minute and 5 seconds. They used about 30 seconds of it. BW spent a little bit longer talking things over before retaking the court. Again, BW going from right to left across your computer screens. Marietta left to right here in set number 1. Rueda stays on serve. And she puts it right on the sideline. It's handled by Marietta, coming up with a big swing. One of the middle hitters, but the Yellow Jackets play it. Gabby Schlecht puts it over the net. Set for Boyer. Her shot is played by the Yellow Jackets. Now Logan puts it out of bounds for the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Pioneers. They're back in front by 2, 13-11. Jillian Fellers' serve is played by Logan. Rueda from the back row. She blasts it, and Marietta hits it out of bounds. That's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Lauren Gardner will go back on serve for the Yellow Jackets. She has 13 service aces on the season. Outside hit from Maggie Fellers goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. That evens things at 13 each here in set number 1. First one to 25, win by 2. Gardner with the serve, and it goes into the net. Point for the Pioneers. It's her eighth service error of the season. Shannon will rotate it over to take the serve for the Pioneers. It's played by Rueda up to Zawadzki. Logan with a tip. It's blocked at the net. She plays it to keep it in bounds, and they're going to call an infraction on the Pioneers. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. And Paige Contras will check back into the game. She's a 5'4" freshman defensive specialist from Pemberville and a graduate of Eastwood High School. Contras with the right-handed serve, played by the back row. Now Maggie Fellers puts it down with authority for the Pioneers. That was a big swing, and she didn't miss. Marietta back in front, 15-14. And Brea Elsey will take the serve for Marietta. Right-handed shot played by Rueda up to Zawadzki. Outside hit from Schlecht is blocked and knocked off of the Yellow Jackets, out of bounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. Good net play right there by Marietta. Elsie's serve handled by Gardner up to Zawadzki. Big swing, it's blocked by the Pioneers. And the Yellow Jackets are charged with 4 hits. So it'll be a point for Marietta. They now are back in front by 3. Elsie from the left side of the court. It's played by Contras up to Zawadzki. She'll tip it over to the net. Shannon will handle it. He'll get set up for Silva, who will hit it out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Marietta on a little bit of a roll here as they've scored the last 4 points. And Elsie looking to make it 5 in a row. Her serve is played by Gardner up to Zawadzki. Schlecht with the big hit through a block. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. And Gabby Schlecht will go on serve. Her right-handed attempt is handled by the Pioneers. Coming up with a big swing for a point. It's Silva. She put it out of bounds, but off of a Yellow Jacket. Marietta back in front by 4. Maggie Fellers on the serve, and it is misplayed by the Yellow Jackets. Contras made a diving attempt on the first hit, but none of her teammates were able to get back to the ball. And that resulted in another point for the Pioneers. Substitution now for the Yellow Jackets. Sophomore defensive specialist Ashley Curtis, number 18, will check in. She's a Bolingbrook, Illinois native. And just like that, the serve finds her. She gets a hit on it, but again, it falls to the court before the Yellow Jackets can get a second hit. Point for the Pioneers. Serve is handled by the Yellow Jackets. Block at the net. Zawadzki keeps it alive, but Ruetta and Gardner nearly collide going for it, and they cannot keep it alive. Marietta 3 points away from locking up this first set. Maggie Fellers still on serve. And the Yellow Jackets again have trouble handling that serve reception. And it goes out of bounds off of BW. Point for the Pioneers. They lead it 23-15 here in set number 1. Maggie Fellers on serve. It's played over the net by the Yellow Jackets, and it is put down by Jillian Fellers on the tip. That gives the Pioneers set point. Gardner plays it for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki keeps it alive. Ruetta hits it into the net. Point and set for the Pioneers. They take the first set 25-15. Teams will switch sides for set number 2. Taking a look at some of the individual statistics. BW had 32 total attacks, 9 kills and 9 attack errors. Marietta had 22 attacks with 9 kills and 3 attack errors. They're hitting at a .273 percentage. Each team had 8 assists, serve aces, 5 for the Pioneers and 1 for the Yellow Jackets. Each team had 2 service errors. Each team had 10 digs. 5 reception errors for the Yellow Jackets versus 1 for the Pioneers. And that's where we see one of the biggest differences in the scoreboard. Also 2 blocks to none for the Pioneers. They had 1 solo block and 2 block assists. Individual statistics, Jillian Fellers was responsible for 4 points. Maggie Fellers, 7.5. Mia Silva had 2, and 1 each for Becca Phelps and Kira Shannon. Emery Spittler combined on a block for a half a point. For the Yellow Jackets, leading the way with 3 points each, it's Gabby Schlecht and Olivia Zawadzki, 2 to Sam Ruetta, and 1 each to Nicole Logan and Malia Thurber. while we have this opportunity, want to send out some congratulations, as earlier this week the Baldwin Wallace University Department of Athletics, the Center for Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement, and the Brown and Gold Club were pleased to announce the 2022 Athletics Alumni Hall of Fame class. The 9 newest inductees will bring the total to 369 Yellow Jackets for life that have been honored with induction into the Hall of Fame. The Athletics Alumni Association Hall of Fame was established in 1965 to recognize exceptional achievements and impact on the brown and gold by an athlete, administrator, or coach, team, or honorary. And this year's inductees are Tanya Davis Konieczny from the softball program, Brandon Hedges from the football and track and field programs, Michael G. Ritz, an honorary inductee, Sarah Gombash Lampy of the swimming and diving team, Jimmy Leffler of the baseball team, Greg Patrick of the track and field program, Christian Riemenschneider and Dirk Riemenschneider of the football program, and honorary induction for Linda Short. The 2022 inductees will be officially added to the Athletics Alumni Association Hall of Fame on the Hall of Fame Saturday, October 15th, with a special ceremony prior to the Hall of Fame game between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and the Muskingum Fighting Muskies. The 2022 class will also be introduced to the football crowd between the first and second quarters of the game. Marietta up 1-0. Will go from right to left here in set 2. BW left to right. BW will be on serve, and it'll be Olivia Zawadzki handling the honors. Her jumping right-handed serve played by the Pioneers. It'll be played up to Jillian Fellers, and she'll put it out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki's jumping serve, again handled by Maggie Fellers on the back line, up to Jillian Fellers. Her shot is blocked by the Yellow Jackets. Marietta keeps it alive. Zawadzki will set up Rueda for a hit. It's played at the net. The Pioneers will get into their set. Gardner will dig it out, up to Zawadzki. Now to Logan, and she just put a little bit too much air underneath the ball and sent it out of bounds. 1-1 here in set number 2. Alyssa Sagi will check in to serve it up for the Pioneers. It's played by Gardner, up to Zawadzki. Rueda with the big swing and gets it over a block and down for a Yellow Jacket point. Sam Rueda, right-handed shot played by Maggie Fellers. Now the hit from Boyer is blocked, but Marietta keeps it alive. Rueda now digs out that hit, up to Gardner. Free ball played over by Schlecht. Shannon handles it. Rotates over to Jillian Fellers. She hits it through a block, and it falls to the court. The Yellow Jackets not able to get there off of the deflection. That evens things up at 2 each here in set number 2. Jillian Fellers with the serve. It's played to the back row, and Sam Rueda with the roll shot just put too much underneath it, and it sails out of bounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. Jillian Fellers serve played by Schlecht. Now a quick shot and a point for the Yellow Jackets. Malia Thurber at the net gets the finish. And she gets a nice word of encouragement from the coaches before she collects some congratulations from her teammates after rotating out. Lauren Gardner on serve. It's played by Shannon. And now it's going to be a free ball from the Pioneers. The Yellow Jackets will handle it. Gardner up to Zawadzki. And a big swing and a kill for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano puts it down. BW in front, 4-3 here at set number 2. Gardner with the jumping right-hander, played by Maggie Fellers. Block at the net, and it goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. Shannon will be on serve. Her right-hander just gets over the net. Ruetta plays it up to Zawadzki. Schlecht with the big right-handed swing, and she puts it down for the Yellow Jacket point. Paige Contras comes in to serve. Outside hit attempt from Silva was smoked, and Ruetta could only get one arm on it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. That'll even things up at 5 here in set number 2. Elsie's serve is into the net. Point and serve go over to the Yellow Jackets. Schlecht will do the honors. Big jumping right-hander is played by Elsie. Tip by Maggie Fellers is handled by the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki tried to get a little bit too fancy right there and tipped the ball over the net for the second time in this match to put it down for a point, and she hit it into the net instead on the second hit, and the Yellow Jackets turn it over. But the Pioneers will take advantage. Not only did they get the point on Zawadzki's hit into the net, but then they come up with the point as the Yellow Jackets hit the next ball out of bounds. Served by Maggie Fellers, played up to Zawadzki. Big swing by Sam Ruetta. Marietta can't handle it. Maggie Fellers got the first hit on it, but nobody could get a second hit. That fell to the court for a point for the Yellow Jackets to even things up at 7 each. Blazentik will serve it up, and she'll handle the kill. She'll get the dig, keep it alive, and BW will get a point. I'm going to apologize now to Katarina Blazetic for mispronouncing the young lady's name. Blazetic's serve is handled by Shannon over to Maggie Fellers. Now Jillian Fellers with a right-handed swing. It's tipped at the net. Zawadzki sets up Ruetta. Ruetta smokes it to the corner, but just a bit too much, and it goes out of bounds. That'll even things at 8. Meg Marshall on serve. The Yellow Jackets have a load of trouble handling it, and they can't keep it alive. It's a point for the Pioneers. Marshall stays on serve after giving Marietta a 9-8 lead. It's handled by Contras. Up to Ruetta now. Her roll shot is played at the net. Jillian Fellers with a right-handed swing. Out of bounds off of Gabby Schlecht. Point for the Pioneers. Marshall's right-handed serve played by Contras up to Zawadzki. Back row roll shot from Schlecht, handled by Marietta. Tip by Jillian Fellers. It'll be played by the Yellow Jackets up to Ruetta, and she sends it out of bounds. She was looking for a deflection call, but the officials say nothing doing. That's a point for the Pioneers. Sydney Simonson will check in to the match for the Yellow Jackets. The sophomore is a native of Sullivan, Ohio, and played at Black River High School. Outside hit attempt from Thurber goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. And with that, BW has seen enough, and they will call a timeout. They trail here in set number 2, 12-8. While we have a break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official uniform provider. The apparel and uniform provider for Baldwin or for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dana Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, proud pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Marietta stays on serve after the Yellow Jacket timeout. They're looking to build on a 12-8 lead, and Meg Marshall will be in for the serve. Her jumping right-hander is played by Contras. Now up to Simonson. She tips it. Marietta with just one hit before it goes over the net. BW trying to play it again, and there will be an infraction on the Yellow Jackets. It's a point for the Pioneers. Marshall with the serve into the net. Point for the Yellow Jackets. But they trail 13-9 here in set number 2. Olivia Zawadzki will be on serve for the Yellow Jackets. And her serve is misplayed. Takes a funny bounce off of Elsie's arm and it goes out of bounds. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki with the jumping right-hander. Maggie Fellers plays it up to her setter. Now with a big right-handed hit. And it's an illegal hit against Marietta. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki's hit played by Maggie Fellers up to Jillian Fellers. She tips it. Zawadzki digs it out up to Gardner. Now to Simonson. She puts it down quickly. It's returned after just one hit. Now a tip shot by the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be another infraction against the Pioneers. It's a point for BW, and all of a sudden that 5-point deficit is down to 1. BW trailing 13-12 with Zawadzki still on serve. She sends it to the back row. It's played up to the center. Jillian Fellers with a big right-handed swing, but she didn't put enough downward angle on it and sends it out of bounds. We're even at 13 here in set number 2. Zawadzki's serve is handled by the Pioneers. Maggie Fellers from the back row puts it over the net. Gardner sets it up, back row attack from Simonson. And Sid Simonson puts it down for the point. And the Yellow Jackets go back in front, 14-13 here in set number 2. Welcome back, everybody, to the Lou Higgins Center to the Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. I'm Matt Florjancic here for the call of today's Ohio Athletic Conference volleyball match between the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and visiting Marietta Pioneers. The Yellow Jackets lead it here in set number 2, 14-13. They are down 1-0, looking to even this thing up. Zawadzki still on serve after Marietta's timeout. It's hit up to the center. Jillian Fellers with a big swing, and she is blocked, and it'll be another infraction against the Pioneers. Point for the Yellow Jackets. And Coach Christina Foltz loved that call. She had a fist pump and was just as excited as her Yellow Jacket players. Zawadzki on serve. It gets over. She'll dig it out. Up to Gardner. Logan from the outside. Her shot is blocked. Zawadzki digs it out. Gardner sets it up for a free ball. Marietta plays it. Tip at the net and putting it down is Emery Spittler. Spittler will be on serve. It's handled by the Yellow Jackets up to Zawadzki. Big swing that can't be handled. Malia Thurber comes up with the point for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Rueda will check back into the match, and she will rotate in on serve. It's played by Maggie Fellers up to Jillian Fellers on the right side. Rueda digs it out up to Zawadzki. Now Schlecht with the roll shot, gets over the net. Marietta handles it. Jillian Fellers from the left side sends it out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Rueda with the serve. It's played by Shannon up to Spittler. Left-handed swing and a kill for Ella Boyer. She cuts the Marietta deficit down to 2. 17-15, BW leads here in set number 2. Jillian Fellers on the serve. It's played by Gardner up to Zawadzki. Schlecht with a big swing is blocked down for the point by the Pioneers, and we have a 1-point set as Marietta can tie things up here on Jillian Fellers to serve. Rueda on the back row plays it over to Gardner, not a Schlecht. She hits it through a block. Spittler will set it up for Shannon. Now over to Boyer. She puts it down with the left hand. It's dug out by Gardner. Tip over on the free ball by the Yellow Jackets. They will handle Marietta's next hit. Now Schlecht comes up with a big hit that Shannon plays up to Spittler, now to Maggie Fellers, and she puts it out with the right hand. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Lauren Gardner goes on serve. It hits the net. It's played by Shannon. Up to Spittler. She sets up Maggie Fellers for the back row hit. It's handled by the Yellow Jackets. Sam Rueda from the back row puts it down on the line. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. 19-16. They're storming back here in set number 2. Gardner stays on serve. Jumping right-hander played by Maggie Fellers up to Spittler. Now to Boyer. She hits it through a block, and it's deflected out of bounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. Shannon will take the serve. It'll be dug out by Rueda up to Zawadzki. Schlecht with the hit. Shannon with the dig up to Spittler. Tip by Silva is handled by the Yellow Jackets. Logan on the outside. Her shot is blocked off of Sam Rueda into the court. And it's back to just the 1-point lead for the Yellow Jackets as they hold a 19-18 advantage over the Pioneers here in set number 2. Kira Shannon will stay on serve. Calmly sends a right-handed shot up to Rueda. Now tip by Schlecht over the net. Will be returned in kind by Maggie Fellers for the kill. And that evens things up at 19. Shannon with the serve. It's played by Schlecht in the back row. Rueda comes up with the hit. Marietta handles it. Shannon sets it up. It's Silva with the point. And that puts Marietta back in front, 20-19. And with that, BW will burn a timeout. That's their second here in the second set. And while we have this opportunity, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Kira Shannon will return to serve after the BW timeout. And her right-hander is played by Sam Ruetta. Up to Zawadzki. Big hit through a block and a point for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano finishing off that play with the point to even the score at 20. Paige Contras will serve it up for the Yellow Jackets. It's handled by Maggie Fellers. Up to Spittler. Big swing from Silva through a block. That's a point for the Pioneers. Elsie will serve it up, and that is an ace. Ruetta dropped a little bit too far back and was unable to get her hands on the ball to play it up to a teammate. Marietta now with a 22-20 lead here in set number 2. Elsie with the serve, and just like the last, BW backs up a little bit too far. This time it was Gardner who couldn't get underneath it to keep it alive for a teammate to play. Elsie with the serve, and it just hit out of bounds. That's a fortunate bounce for the Yellow Jackets. They trail 23-21 here in set number 2, but go on serve. Gabby Schlecht will handle the serves on this rotation. Played up to the net by Spittler, and she gets it blocked. Right back at her. Luciano coming up with the big block. She's urging her teammates to keep up the energy. It's a 1-point set. Marietta with a 23-22 lead. Silva with a big hit. It's played by Gardner. Now to Sid Simonson, and her shot is unable to be handled off of the backboard on the second hit by the Pioneers. That evens things at 23 each. Gabby Schlecht stays on serve. Her right-hander is an ace as Shannon can't handle it, and the Yellow Jackets go on set point, but not before Marietta can burn their second timeout of the second set. This one's coming down to the wire. The first set, Marietta cruised in the latter half of it and took it by a score of 25-15. This one much tighter as the Yellow Jackets lead 24-23 here in set number 2 from the Ursprung Gymnasium. BW looking to win their conference opener this season. Marietta looking to improve their conference record to 1-1. They were swept in 3 sets. 25-18, 25-18, 25-18 by John Carroll on September 21st, and that match came at home. Schlecht puts it into the ground 3 times, then serves it up. Shannon handles it up to Spittler. Big swing by Silva. It's a block, and it's a set point for the Yellow Jackets. Olivia Zawadzki comes up with the block. And that gives BW a 25-23 win in set number 2 to even things at 1 set apiece. We're going to step aside for a break as the teams switch ends. When we come back, we'll have set 3 here from the Lou Higgins Center. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, where we are even at 1 set each between the Marietta Pioneers and the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Marietta took set 1, 25-15. BW responded by winning set 2, 25-23. Emery Spittler will go on serve for the Pioneers to start this third set. They'll go from left to right in their road gray uniforms with blue lettering, numerals, and white trim. BW going from right to left. It's Lauren Gardner playing a free ball. Tip at the net. Can't be handled by the Yellow Jackets, who are in their home brown uniforms with gold and white trim along the sides of the arms and a white lettering with gold trim on the front and backs of the jerseys. Service ace by the Pioneers, and they are off to a quick 2-0 lead here in set number 3. Spittler's serve played up to Gardner, now to Logan at the net. She'll get the tip over. It's handled by the Pioneers. Big left-handed swing by Boyer. It's handled by the Yellow Jackets. They'll return it over the net. Now Jillian Fellers with a big swing. It's blocked initially at the net, but there was nobody else to play it, and it falls to the court for a point for the Pioneers. Spittler's serve handled by Sam Ruetta. She'll get it right back on a right-handed swing. Goes out of bounds off the Pioneers. That's the Yellow Jackets' first point here in set 3. And they trail 3-1. Ruetta on serve. It's played up to Spittler. Left-handed swing from Boyer is off of a deflection, out of bounds. off last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Point for Marietta. Jillian Fellers will go on serve. Gardner plays it up to nobody as the Yellow Jackets got caught out of position. And the ball goes to the court. That's point for the Pioneers. They lead 5-1 here in set number 3. Jillian Fellers stays on serve. Jumping right-hander, handled by Gardner. Up to Zawadzki. Big swing, but it hit out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. And the Pioneers will get the point. Fellers' serve goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. They trail 6-2 here in set number 3. Lauren Gardner on the serve. It's played by Jillian Fellers up to Spittler. Left-handed swing and a point for Ella Boyer. Marietta has things rolling early here in set number 3. Shannon will go on serve for the Pioneers. She hits it off the net. It falls to the court. That's a point for the Pioneers. Marietta with an 8-2 advantage over the Yellow Jackets here in the early goings of set 3. Shannon's serve hits the net, and it's a side out. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Paige Contras will check in, and she'll go on serve. And Contras hits it into the net for the service error. Marietta with a 9-3 edge here in set 3. Brea Elsey will rotate over to take the serve. Her jumping right-hander played by Gardner up to Zawadzki. Big swing by Luciano is handled by the Pioneers. Now Silva with a big swing that Gardner handles. Ruetta with a roll shot from the back row. It's played up to Spittler. Maggie Fellers with a big swing, and she puts it down for the Pioneer point. And with that, BW will burn their first timeout of the third set. They trail Marietta 10-3 here in set number 3. We're even at one set each after Marietta took a 25-15 win in set 1, and BW responded with a 25-23 set win in set number 2. While we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Marietta stays on serve here in set number 3. They enjoy a 10-3 lead out of the Yellow Jackets timeout. Elsey will do the honors. Jumping right-hander played by Gardner up to Zawadzki. Outside tip from Schlecht is handled by the Pioneers. Silva with a big hit that's handled by Ruda up to Contras. Free ball off of Ruetta. Spittler with the set, and the hit from Maggie Fellers is handled by the Yellow Jackets. Schlecht will return a right-handed hit that's played by Marietta. Maggie Fellers with a big right-handed swing that's handled by the Yellow Jackets. Sam Ruda with a hit that is also handled by the Pioneers. Now they tip it back and forth a couple of times, and an infraction is whistled against the Pioneers, and Coach Christy Newman is none too happy about that call. Point for the Yellow Jackets. They trail 10-4 here in set number 3. Gabby Schlecht goes on serve. Shannon has it carry him off of her right arm and into the Marietta Pioneer bench. Unable to be played on a second hit. And Christy Newman will give some advice to her players during this break in the action. Now Schlecht back on serve. Played by Shannon. Up to Spittler. Silva with a hit. That's handled by Gardner. Up to Schlecht. Now a right-handed hit from Simonson is played by the Pioneers. Tip attempt by Spittler is handled by the Yellow Jackets. Now a tip from Simonson. Just a little bit too wide into the left, out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Maggie Fellers on serve for Marietta. It's handled up to Zawadzki. Back row hit from Schlecht. It goes off the net and out of bounds. Point for Marietta. Marietta now with a 12-5 lead here in set number 3. We're even at 1 set apiece. Maggie Fellers serves. It's played by Schlecht. Block attempt at the net. The Yellow Jackets will have to play it. Simonson sends over a free ball. Maggie Fellers up to Spittler. Now Silva with a hit through a block. Goes out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Maggie Fellers with the jumping right-handed serve. Handled by Schlecht up to Zawadzki. Simonson with a big swing. And it's deflected out of bounds by the Pioneers. That's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Blazetic and Thurber check in to the match. Blazetic will go on serve. Right-handed serve is mishandled by the Pioneers, but they still keep it alive. Now big swing is handled by the Yellow Jackets, and Schlecht will put it over the net for a free ball. And Marietta, however, will respond as Silva comes up with a big hit and a point for the Pioneers. BW had to darn near run into the stands to track down the ball. They were able to get it back over the net, but the Pioneers handled it and set up Silva for the kill. Meg Marshall will check in to serve it up for the Pioneers. Jumping right-hander. Played by the Yellow Jackets up to Zawadzki. Thurber with a hit, and it is handled by the Pioneers who will send over a free ball. Thurber receives it. Tip at the net for the point. It's Zawadzki. And she will go on serve. Logan in. Contras out for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki hits it long. It didn't miss by much, but it was enough. That's a point for the Pioneers. They go ahead 15-7. On the serve now, Emery Spittler. Flat-footed right-handed serve played by the Yellow Jackets over to Logan. Played to Spittler. Now Jillian Fellers with a big swing, and she gets the kill. And with that, BW will take their second time out of the set. They trail 16-7 while we have this break in the action. Want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dana Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, proud pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Marietta stays on serve after that BW timeout. The Yellow Jackets trail 16-7 here in set 3. Spittler serve handled by Schleck. Gets up to Simonson and she blasts it out of bounds. Looked like it changed direction to Coach Christina Fultz. The officials did not see it that way, and her argument goes nowhere, unfortunately, for the Yellow Jackets. Spittler tried to get a little bit too cute and hit a short serve, but it hit the top of the net and bounced down on Marietta's side. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Ruetta on serve for BW, puts it in her left back corner. Spittler serves it up, or sets it up for a teammate. Marietta plays it over. BW will respond in kind. Now big swing from Boyer is handled by Ruetta over to Zawadzki. Ruetta hits it right into the net. It's a point for the Pioneers. Jillian Fellers with a serve, and the Yellow Jackets unable to get it over in 3 hits. It's a point for the Pioneers. They lead it 19-8 here in set number 3. We're even at 1 set apiece. Jillian Fellers with a jumping right-handed floater. It's into the net and falls on Marietta's side of the court. Point Baldwin Wallace. Lauren Gardner will serve it up. She chops at the ball 3 times, dribbles it 5, runs toward the service line and hits the right-hander over where it's played by Jillian Fellers. Big swing from Ella Boyer, and there's an infraction called on the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Pioneers, and the Yellow Jackets are not happy with that call at all. But nonetheless, the point goes over to the Pioneers, where Kira Shannon will serve it up. Bounces off the net. Ruetta plays it up to Zawadzki. Tip at the net from Luciano is handled by the Pioneers. Boyer puts it right sideline. BW is there to set up Logan for the hit, and she sends it out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Alyssa Sagi will check in. Luciano will check out for the Yellow Jackets. Shannon stays on serve. And she serves it right into the net. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Paige Contras will check in, and she will go on serve. BW needs to rally here. They find themselves on the wrong end of a 21-10 set score. Contras' serve goes right into the net. Point for the Pioneers. 22-10. BW trails here in set 3. Brea Elsey in to serve for the Pioneers. It's played by Ruetta up to Zawadzki. She'll try to tip it over. It's handled by Marietta. And we have a point for the Yellow Jackets after an infraction on the Pioneers. Ella Rogers comes in to serve it up. It's played by the Pioneers. Silva with a big hit, and it goes out of bounds. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Ella Rogers with the serve. Shannon plays it up to Spittler. Maggie Fellers with a hit off the net. It stays inbounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. Maggie Fellers will go on serve. She chance to close it out here for the Pioneers. They lead at 23-12 here in set number 3. And I put the broadcaster jinx on the poor young lady as she hits the ball into the net. And it goes over to the Yellow Jackets. Alyssa Sagi will check in to serve it up for BW. They trail by 10 points here in set 3. Sagi's serve, played up to Spittler. Now Jillian Fellers with a big right-handed swing and a kill. Marietta goes on set point. And Meg Marshall will be called on to serve it up. Jumping right-hander, played by Ella Rogers, up to Zawadzki. Sid Simonson hits it through a block, but it's played by a back row player. Up to Jillian Fellers. It's handled by Simonson. Now a free ball from Gardner. Set up to Spittler. Jillian Fellers with the swing, the kill, the point, and the set for the Pioneers as they win that 25-13 to take a 2-1 lead. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll have fourth set action here from the Ursprung Gymnasium at the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Welcome back to the Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, where we have Ohio Athletic Conference volleyball action between the Marietta Pioneers and the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Marietta leads this match 2-1. They won the first set 25-15, lost the second 23-25, but then in dominant fashion won set number 3 25-13. Olivia Zawadzki will serve it up for the Yellow Jackets. It's played up to Spittler. Jillian Fellers with a right-handed swing handled by the Yellow Jackets. Return fire from Thurber is also handled by Marietta, who plays a free ball up, diving dig to keep the ball alive, and then Sid Simonson puts it out of bounds. It's a point for the Pioneers. Serve from Spittler, handled by the Yellow Jackets. Thurber's shot played up by the Pioneers. Boyer puts it to the back row where Zawadzki sets up for Gardner. Now Simonson with a hit. It's played by Jillian Fellers up to Spittler. Boyer with a left-handed hit over the net. Zawadzki plays it up to Gardner. Right-handed swing. And a point for the Yellow Jackets. It's Taylor Denal, the 6-foot freshman outside hitter from East Amherst, New York. Seeing her first action today, comes up with a big point, and now Paige Contras will check into the match to serve for BW. Boyer with the left-handed attempt. It bounces off of Contras and Gardner and goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Pioneers. They lead it 2-1 here in set number 4. Jillian Fellers will hit the jumping right-handed serve over to Schlecht, up to Zawadzki, and a block at the net, down for a point for the Pioneers. Jillian Fellers stays on serve. Gardner will dig it out. Schlecht with a tip at the net is played by the Pioneers. Zawadzki sets up Gardner. Now Schlecht with a right-handed swing through a block. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. They cut the deficit to 1, 3-2 here in set number 4. Lauren Gardner with the jumping right-handed serve. Maggie Fellers up to Spittler. It's tipped over the net. And it's a lift called on Marietta. That's a point for the Yellow Jackets to even things up at 3 apiece. Gardner stays on serve. Jumping right-hander caroms off the net, played by Maggie Fellers up to Spittler. Boyer with the hit and through a block. Out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Pioneers. Shannon will go on serve. Contras handles the serve up to Zawadzki. A swing and a point for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano's hit was returned over the net, but it went out of bounds. Ashley Curtis will check in for the Yellow Jackets, and she'll serve it up. The serve is handled by the Pioneers, but the Yellow Jackets will handle the return hit, and Schlecht from the back row will put it down for a point to give the Yellow Jackets a 5-4 edge here in set number 4. Ashley Curtis will stay on serve. She dribbles it 6 times, charges towards the line, hits it over with the right hand. Maggie Fellers plays it tight to the net, and now will send over a free ball that Lauren Gardner hits up to Zawadzki. Tip over the net is handled by the Pioneers. Spittler sets up Jillian Fellers for the back row attack. It's handled by the Yellow Jackets. Schlecht goes up with the right-handed hit, but it is blocked down for a point for the Pioneers. They even things at 5 each in this 4th set. Brea Elsey will check in to serve it up and does so to Gardner, up to Zawadzki. Schlecht with the outside hit. It's handled by Shannon. Up to Spittler. Maggie Fellers puts it down and puts it down for the Marietta point. Marietta back in front here in set number 4, 6-5. Jumping right-handed serve just clears the net. Gardner plays it. Now Schlecht with a big right-handed swing. Gets returned on the second hit by the Pioneers. Schlecht with a tip is also played by the Pioneers. Now BW will try and set Schlecht up for a third hit that Shannon puts over. Luciano tries to send it in on a one-and-done hit. Not going to happen, but Maggie Fellers will put it down for the Pioneers and give Marietta a 7-5 advantage. Elsie with the serve. Gardner plays it over to Contras. Now the hit by Schlecht goes down out of bounds, but off of a Pioneer. That's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Gabby Schlecht will serve it up for BW. Jumping right-hander Karam's off of the net. It's played by Spittler. Julian Fellers blasts it out of bounds. And that'll even things up at 7 apiece here in set number 4. Fellers had a good swing on it, just hit it a little too well. Schlecht with the right-handed serve. It's played by Shannon up to Spittler. Maggie Fellers puts it down with authority off of Schlecht. Out of bounds, point for the Pioneers. Maggie Fellers with the serve over the net. It's played over to Simonson, and her hit goes out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. BW plays the serve, and Luciano comes up with a swing and a point for the Yellow Jackets as it caromed off of one of the Pioneers out of bounds. Katarina Blazetic will serve it up, and she'll get the ace for the Yellow Jackets to tie it up at 9 here in set number 4. Blazetic with a big smile on her face as she looks to the coaches to get some guidance on where to place this next serve, and she'll put it to Maggie Fellers in the back row. Silva with a hit for the Pioneers that Blazetic plays. Now over to Simonson, and Sid Simonson will get the kill for the Yellow Jackets. Blazetic with the jumping right-hander, played by Maggie Fellers up to Spittler. Silva with the kill. She went into the sky for that right-handed hit and found an open spot on the court to even things at 10 apiece. Meg Marshall checks into the game for the Pioneers, and she'll go on serve. Floating serve mishandled by Schlecht in the back row and falls to the court without being played a second time. Point for the Pioneers. Marshall with the jumping right-hander, handled by Schlecht this time, up to Zawadzki. Big swing by Thurber is handled off the net by the Pioneers, but Marietta is whistled for an infraction that gives the Yellow Jackets a set-tying point. Olivia Zawadzki will go on serve. Zawadzki with the right-hander, played out of bounds by the Pioneers. And BW goes in front here in set number 4, 12-11. Zawadzki stays on serve. Played by the Pioneers up to Spittler. Jillian Fellers skies up for that kill. She puts it down with authority to even the set at 12. BW will play the serve return. Fellers comes up with the right-handed hit, but she hits it into the net. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Paige Contras will go on serve for the Yellow Jackets. It's played back row by Fellers, but it was cruising right towards the court, and another Pioneer couldn't get a handle on it to hit it over the net. Contras will stay on serve with the Yellow Jackets up 14-12. She sails it just long, out by about the width of the volleyball. That will give Marietta the serve. Jillian Fellers looking to even things at 14 on this serve. Floating right-hander played up to Zawadzki. Thurber with a big hit, but hit it a little bit too wide, out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Jumping right-hander played by Contras in the back row. Up to Schlecht, and she puts it down for authority for the Yellow Jackets. And they now go in front 15-14 here in set number 4. Lauren Gardner will serve it up on this rotation for the Yellow Jackets. And she hits it into the net. Side out Pioneers. And that'll even things at 15 in set number 4. Shannon will go on serve for Marietta. And it's played by Schlecht up to Zawadzki. Schlecht with the right-handed hit. Out of bounds off of Jillian Fellers. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Ashley Curtis will hustle into the game for the Yellow Jackets. Jumping right-hander from Curtis, played by Maggie Fellers. She'll send a free ball over. BW will send it right back on the first hit. Maggie Fellers with a big swing. It'll be returned over the net. Tip at the net by Maggie Fellers. Goes down for a Marietta point. That'll even the score at 16 here in set number 4. Brea Elsey serves it for the Pioneers. Schlecht with a tip at the net for the Yellow Jackets. It's played. Maggie Fellers will return the tip. And now Gardner will set up Schlecht. Her hit is played by the Pioneers. Over to Silva, out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Pioneers. They take a 17-16 lead here in set number 4. And with that, Coach Foltz will get a timeout. Not liking what she's seeing on these last few points. She will take a timeout. With that break in the action, I'm going to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, proud pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Out of the BW timeout, Marietta will stay on serve. Marietta holds a 17-16 lead in set number 4 and a 2-1 lead in the match. They win set number 4. There's no need for set number 5. If the Yellow Jackets can fight their way back, they will force a deciding 5th set. Brea Elsey stays on to serve. Jumping right-hander into the net. That'll even things at 17 each. And BW will go on serve. Sid Simonson checks back into the game for BW. Schlecht will drop back to serve it up. She puts a right hand into it. It's played by the back row, up to Spittler. Maggie Fellers with a hit. It's handled by the Yellow Jackets. Simonson with a right-handed hit, and it is blocked for a point for the Pioneers. Maggie Fellers will drop back to serve. Puts it right side to Schlecht, up to Zawadzki. Simonson with a tip at the net. Fellers with a diving dig. Over to Silva, who has it dug out by Gardner. Simonson's hit played by the Pioneers. Hit by Fellers is blocked down for a Yellow Jacket point. Malia Thurber comes back into the game for the Yellow Jackets, as does Blazetic. Katarina Blazetic looks at her right hand, charges towards the service line, puts it over the net cleanly. Jillian Fellers with a shot that's blocked at the net. She'll get a second opportunity, tips it, and again it's blocked by the Yellow Jackets. Maggie Fellers with a roll shot, and diving save by Curtis to send it over the net. Now Silva with the kill from the left side. She puts it down for the Marietta point. Marietta leads 19-18 here at set number 4. Meg Marshall checks in, and she'll serve it up for the Pioneers. Right-handed hit played by Curtis, but it goes out of bounds. And that's another point for the Pioneers. Marshall stays on serve. Jumping right-hander, goes to the back row. It's played by Schlecht, up to Zawadzki. Simonson with a right hit. That is blocked down for a Marietta point. And with that, we have a timeout on the floor. And while we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, proud pizza sponsor of Baldwin Wallace Athletics. Thank you for all of your support for BW Athletics and the Yellow Jacket student athletes. Out of the Yellow Jacket timeout, Marietta remains on serve. Meg Marshall will serve it up. Jumping right-hander, played by Schlecht, up to Zawadzki. She'll set up Simonson. Simonson with a hit, but it goes off the post, extending from the net, and it goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Marshall again on serve for the Pioneers. Schlecht will play it up to Zawadzki. Big hit by Thurber, and it's a point for the Pioneers. They called an infraction on the Yellow Jackets. Sam Ruetta will check back in. Sid Simonson will check out. Marshall, jumping right-hander, played by Schlecht in the back row. Up to Gardner, now to Ruetta. Right-handed hit, blocked down for a point. That puts Marietta on match point. Marshall will stay on serve. Played by Curtis, over to Gardner, up to Ruetta, roll shot handled by Jillian Fellers, up to Spittler, back to Fellers, blocked Maggie Fellers will play it and reset. Jillian Fellers comes up with a hit that's handled by Schlecht. Up to Zawadzki. Thurber with a big hit, and Thurber puts it down for the Yellow Jacket point. They trail in set number 4, 24-19, but they will go on serve. Olivia Zawadzki will serve it up. It's played by Maggie Fellers up to Spittler. Big swing by the Pioneers. It's played by the Yellow Jackets. Rueda hits it through a block. Marietta will play it. BW will answer. Zawadzki sets up Thurber. Block down, and that is match point. Marietta will claim the 4th set by a final of 25-19. That'll bring to an end today's OAC volleyball match as Marietta wins 25-15, 23-25, 25-13, 25-19. They improve to 13-4 overall and 1-1 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets fall to 9-7 overall. They are 0-1 in OAC play and now 1-1 here on the home court at the Ursprung Gymnasium. Taking a look at some of the final numbers here today. Total attacks. BW had a 130-119 edge, but the kills edge went towards Marietta 42-34. BW had nearly twice as many attack errors as the Pioneers, 34-18. Marietta hit at a 202 percentage. BW had a 0-0-0 percentage. Assists went the way of the Pioneers, 40-33. Service aces also towards the Pioneers, 13-7. Service errors, BW had just 7 compared to 12 for Marietta. Digs just about even. Marietta had a slight edge, 56-53. Reception errors, BW had more, 13-7. Total blocks, 8 for the Pioneers, 3 for the Yellow Jackets. 1 solo block each. 14 block assists for the Pioneers, 4 for the Yellow Jackets. 3 blocking errors for Marietta, 2 for the Yellow Jackets. Leading the way for the Pioneers with 15.5 points, it was Maggie Fellers. 10.5 points to Mia Silva, 11 to Jillian Fellers, 8 to Ella Boyer, 6 to Becca Phelps, 5 to Emery Spittler, 3 to Meg Marshall, and 2 each to Kira Shannon and Brea Elsey. Everybody who touched the floor tonight for the Pioneers had at least 2 points. Looking the way of the Yellow Jackets, leading for BW was Gabby Schlecht with 11 points, 6 points each to Malia Thurber and Sam Rueda, as well as Isa Luciano, 5.5 to Olivia Zawadzki, 4.5 to Sydney Simonson, 2 to Nicole Logan, and 1 to Katarina Blazetic, as well as Paige Contras. That'll bring an end to today's webcast. My name is Matt Florjancic. Thank you for watching. Once again, Marietta with a 3-1 win over Baldwin Wallace, 25-15, 23-25, 25-13, 25-19. Thank you to the athletic departments at Baldwin Wallace and Marietta, as well as the sports information departments and athletic communication departments, I should say, at both universities for helping us get today's webcast on the air. And for everybody here at Baldwin Wallace, my name is Matt Florjancic saying make today better than yesterday and make tomorrow better than today. Have a great rest of your Saturday, everyone, and go Jackets.